Let me ask the two of you a question. Have either of you ever had the financial responsibility of arranging a funeral? Funerals usually cost about 14,000, but what most people don't realize is that life insurance isn't handling funerals the way they used to. The way it used to work, something happens to Matt, Nicole, you take Matt's $50,000 policy down to the funeral home director, and that would serve as collateral until the insurance check shows up. Doesn't work that way anymore. Insurance companies used to have 24 days to pay on a policy. Now they have 60. Any idea why that is? Interest. Millions of dollars off of interest. That's why so many families get burdened with out of pocket costs when it comes funeral time. Another thing is there's two companies going around buying up all the funeral homes and cemeteries in the United States and Canada. One out of Texas called SCI, the other out of Canada called the Elderwood Group. Their goal is to be the Walmart of the funeral industry. The main reason I mention that is because their corporate policy is that they want 50% of all the cost up front. Now I don't know about you, but most of the families that I sit down with don't have 7 grand lying around for a funeral. And the ones that do, they want to keep that money because there's so many bills that come in afterwards. Yep, that's why they come up with this. This is the freedom of choice funeral certificate. How this works, Nicole, is something happens to Matt. Could be tomorrow, God forbid. Could be 50 years from now. Could be cancer disease or anything in between. Nicole, something happens to Matt. You turn this over. You're gonna write 7,500 here. Fill in the arrangement. Sign as the beneficiary. That's it. Everything. There's not one out of pocket cost as long as you keep his funeral under 20,000, and Matt, you keep hers under 20,000. Those are two very important numbers. The funeral home director, when you leave out the funeral home, is going to call this number. This number is our corporate office. He's going to ask us two questions. First question he's going to ask us is, are you enrolled? When I leave here tonight, that won't be a problem. You'll be enrolled. Second question he's going to ask us is, how much do you have to work with? If I tell him you got 20,000 to work with, how much do you think that funeral is going to magically cost? Exactly, 20,000. Shouldn't work that way. We don't allow it to work that way. What we do is we never reveal that number, and we ask that you never reveal that number. What we'll do is simply pay them 7,500, cut you a check, and the difference to go. It's the cleanest, easiest, more compassionate way to deal with what's going to happen to all of us eventually. Now, the next decision is option A, is it which is everything I showed you here tonight, or option B.